Alright, so in this video we're gonna be ranking all of the NFL teams based off of how they did this season. And we'll see, and I'll kind of give my quick thoughts on how the team can improve a little bit. I am gonna make another video explaining in detail how each team can improve, but that'll be later. Anyway, let's get this started. Alright, so have them in order. The Cardinals first. They improved a little bit. I'm gonna say they were okay. They were pretty good like halfway through the season, but then they just kind of collapsed at the end. Same with the Falcons, but they're not very good. Ravens, honestly, they're Super Bowl ready. They just have to get past the playoffs. Same with the Bills, Super Bowl ready. They need to get past it. They just need to figure out how to beat the Chiefs, both of them. Panthers, they improved. They're not totally trash anymore. They're not very good, but they're not awful. Bears, even with the Ben Johnson hiring, they're still trash. Bengals, they're okay. They need to improve on the defense. If we were just ranking the offense, they would be pretty much Super Bowl ready, but with the defense, they're just okay. Browns, yeah, they're trash. Cowboys, they're okay. They're okay. The only reason why they didn't make the playoffs is because of Dak Prescott, but they never do anything in the playoffs anyway. Broncos, I would say they're really good. I wouldn't say they're Super Bowl ready yet, but they're getting there. Lions, they're Super Bowl ready. Packers, I would say really good. Gotta put the Bengals here. Yeah. Packers are closer than the Broncos, but not quite at that level yet. Texans, they're kind of difficult because I want to put them at Super Bowl ready, but they're not quite there yet either. So I would say they're a little bit ahead of the Texans. The Packers. Colts, they're okay. They're okay. Jaguars, they're not very good. They're a little better than the Panthers, but not there. Chiefs, they're always going to be Super Bowl ready. Chargers, I would say they're okay. I would say the Broncos are actually more ready for the Super Bowl than the Chargers are. Rams, it's kind of in between. I would say right now they're at the bottom of really good. Raiders, they're garbage. The Dolphins, they're okay. They're a little bit better than the Colts and Cardinals, but not quite on the level yet. Like the Cowboys, they can't seem to win in the playoffs. And this season, they lost their quarterback like the Cowboys. The Vikings, I want to put them at Super Bowl ready, but they're not there yet. I don't know what to make of Sam Darnold, but right now they're at the top of really good. So, Patriots, I would put them kinda in the middle here of not very good. Saints, they're trash. Giants, they're trash. Jets, they're trash. With Aaron Glenn higher, maybe like right here. Eagles, defending Super Bowl champions, they're Super Bowl ready. Steelers, every year, winning record, no playoff wins. So they're a little bit ahead of the Dolphins and Cowboys. The Seahawks, they're also kinda in this weird zone right now. They're just ahead of the Cardinals, in my opinion. The 49ers, it will depend on how the free agency goes. Their cap space is getting lower. So, We'll see how many of their stars stay, but right now I'm going to put them kind of at the top of really good. Buccaneers, they're like right at the bottom of really good right now. Titans, they're trash. They are. And Commanders, in my opinion, couple more years, they'll be Super Bowl ready. They're like right at the top of really good too. They almost made the Super Bowl, as long as they showed up in the second half. But they didn't in the NFC Championship game. So, yeah, this is my rankings. Ravens, Bills, just got to win at this point. They just got to beat the Chiefs. Lions, same thing. They've been like really good, and then the team just kind of swoops in and beats them like the Commanders did and the 49ers did last season and this season. The Chiefs, they almost three-peated. We stopped them though. They're definite Eagles. Actually, let's fix this. I would argue the Eagles are arguably the best team in the league. Apparently, there are teams commissioning to try and ban the tush push because we're just so good at it. So, yeah, that, yeah, I'm sorry, Packers. I don't remember the other one. Like, it was like Packers or Bills or something, but wanting to ban the tush push because of safety concerns, which, honestly, if you gotta ban a play just because a certain team is so good at it, that just shows that you're a sort of loser. But anyway, Vikings, I don't know if they're keeping Sam Darnold or not. I think J.J. McCarthy, I think we need to see how he does. He got hurt, and then Sam Darnold swooped in and actually led the Vikings to a 14-win season, and just to lose in the first round of the playoffs to the Rams. But yeah, the 49ers injured, just got too banged up, too injured from the beginning. They just fell apart. When the 49ers lost to the Cardinals, that should have been the first sign that they weren't going to do anything this year. Commanders almost made the Super Bowl, didn't show up in the second half of the NFC Championship game. Fortunately, we were still probably going to win anyway, but yeah. In a couple years, they may be a real threat to win the Super Bowl, but yeah. Texans, they just got to kind of work on the defense a little bit. The offense, they need to kind of get going. Really what they need are receivers that can stay healthy. That's really all the Texans need, and they'll be okay. Packers, I mean, when you win 11 games, but your 6 losses are to teams that also made the playoffs, like the Lions, Eagles, and Vikings, that just shows you just aren't quite ready to beat the good teams yet. So when I say good, I don't mean like the okay to pretty good teams, to like the Super Bowl ready teams that are like up here. They're not quite ready. Broncos, young team, made the playoffs. Bo Nix, everyone, they look incredible. So we'll see how everyone's season goes. We'll see what they do in free agency and draft. So yeah. Buccaneers, almost won. Almost beat the Commanders in the wildcard round, but they didn't. So they fell out of the wildcard round and didn't even make it to the divisional, but almost there. Chargers, the reason I put the Broncos above the Chargers is because they're a younger team. The Chargers, they're a little bit older, like the players have been around for a little bit longer. Harbaugh, this is his second season. This is Sean Payton's, I think, third or fourth season now. So, I mean, I would say the Broncos are better just because they are a little bit younger and a little bit more healthier. The Chargers don't have really a running back. Gus Edwards really isn't there, which I will be doing a prediction video for the draft and who I think they should take based off of how they did this season, which they used Gus Edwards a lot, but he's not that great. I would say they probably need a better running back. That's really all the Chargers at this point need. They have a good defense. They need also receivers. They need to give Justin Herbert help. And yeah, the Rams, Matthew Stafford's apparently going around asking around if teams would be willing to trade for him. Apparently the Rams are okay with that, so will he be traded? Who knows? Cooper Kupp is gone. So all they got now is Puka Nacua. We'll see if he stays, but yeah. Bengals, they need a defense. That's all they need. Defense. Steelers, it might be time for Mike Tomlin to go. Every year they don't have a losing season, but they can never win the Super Bowl. I mean, they can never win a playoff game. So last time they even got close was in 2016. So Steelers, I mean, yeah, I mean, you've had mediocre quarterbacks the entire time. Russell Wilson clearly wasn't the answer. Justin Fields, for the way they were using him, it might work, but I don't know. Cowboys, they gotta get a new owner. Jerry Jones is, in his proudness, is just not gonna let it go. Not gonna let this team go. But they need a new owner. They need a new owner. Get a new owner, and then we'll talk about what the Cowboys need. Dolphins, they're also a team that does really well in the regular season, but then just falls flat in the playoffs. They can't get it done. They're in the same predicament. What do you do? I would say defense. They need better, really specifically linebackers. But yeah, Seahawks also in this weird predicament of the Dolphins, Cowboys, and Steelers, where it's like, what do you do? They have a new coach. This is going to be going into a second season, so we'll see how well he does, but yeah, we'll see. Cardinals, I really don't know what to say. Cardinals started out not very good, kind of went really well then midway through the season, but second half fell flat. Yeah, the Cardinals, they're not quite there either. Colts, same thing, just not quite there. They're not as bad as not very good, but they're definitely not like in the higher area of okay or bottom tier of really good. They're like lower tier of okay. Falcons, now they're paying Kirk Cousins $40 million to sit on the bench. They're over in salary cap. What are the Falcons gonna do? I mean, I like the kind of team they've made a little bit, but I mean, yeah, I mean, what do you do at this point if you're the Falcons? Falcons, they got rid of Arthur Smith. They brought in this new guy. I have no idea what his name is, but they're kind of on the edge of okay and not very good. We'll see how Michael Penix does. Patriots, get some talent around Drake May, get a receiver or two. And that is really pretty much it. Defense needs to be a little bit better than they were. They did have a good defense, but at one point, but then lately they haven't really had it, so yeah. Patriots. Jaguars. They finally fired Trent Baalke. We'll see how well the Jaguars do now that they have Liam Cohen, but it really is going to come down to similar to the Patriots. You got to build talent around Trevor Lawrence. They have a receiver in Brian Thomas Jr., so we'll see. Now Josh Allen is gone from the D-line, so that's not going to help, so we'll see. Panthers, you improved. You improved. You could probably win 7-8 games next season, depending on how your draft and free agency goes. You definitely improved. Bryce Young is kind of a slow bloomer, but he's starting to get going and starting to do well, so honestly, Carolina, I think, is... At this point, I think you can only go up from here. Bears, I'm kind of contemplating putting them in not very good as opposed to the top of trash, but they're not there. The Bears, but with Caleb Williams, he was like the leading quarterback in getting sacked last season. So, O-line, big time. That's what the Bears need the most to protect Caleb Williams. Other than that, I mean, they already have a good defense. Their receivers are okay. So, we'll see. Browns, anyone of trade value, just get rid of. Hit the reset button. Anyone of value, just get rid of. Just leave. Deshaun Watson, gone. I don't know. I know Myles Garrett wants a trade. I don't know for sure if he has been traded or not. So that I'm not going to say for sure on if he's been traded. I think he might have been to the Eagles, but I don't know for sure. So we'll see. But really, anyone of value, get rid of. Jerry Jeudy, David Njoku, I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of that, but yeah. Browns, just get rid of everybody, hit the reset button. Jets, we'll see if Aaron Glenn does anything for you. I mean, if this turns out to be like Robert Saleh, I mean, yeah. At this point, if the Jets have another failure, then yeah, at coach and just spiral into disaster, I would say probably hit the reset button too. Saints really need a reset button though. Like, they really do. So, yeah, Saints, they need to really get rid of everybody. Alvin Kamara, Derek Carr, just everyone just leaves. So, yeah, just reset. Raiders, you have Pete Carroll as your head coach. We'll see how it does. You almost got the number 1 pick, but you didn't get the number 1 pick. Yeah. We'll see how the Raiders do. They started winning when it didn't matter, they needed to lose, which then led them to getting like the 6th or 7th overall pick as opposed to like the top 5. So Raiders just can't even tank right. So they need to figure out what they're gonna do there. Giants, same thing. They need to figure it out. Drew Lock, Tommy DeVito, they're not the answer at quarterback. They did get rid of Daniel Jones, which was the correct call, in my opinion. But, I mean, they traded him, so we'll see. but we'll see. But the Giants, yeah, they traded him to the Vikings, which he's probably just going to be released in the offseason anyway. We'll see what team Daniel Jones goes into next. But Tennessee, quarterback, that's what they need. Will Levis is not the answer at all. Quarterback, that is what they need. But those are my quick thoughts. These are my rankings of the teams and of all the teams and my quick thoughts and how they can improve. Yeah, don't know for some of these teams, especially some of these bottom teams, but at this point, it's kind of hard to say how they can improve. Some of them just get rid of everybody and just start over, but anyway. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. This is going to be on Spotify as well, so if you want to listen to that on Spotify, you can. Same thing, Sportsman. That's what this what this channel is called. Is what my podcast is called too. So anyway, make sure you guys like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.